Today I make my case even stronger. Get out of these places. I summon the base knowledge holder, Dr. Uncle Jack. Please enlighten us.
In Canada. He's got to. Why? Because remember, the industrial military complex in the United States is trying to kill Americans at record rates. Just so you know, we inject 25,000 children a day with the bioweapon.
What? I thought Bobby Kennedy's gonna solve everything. He's gonna take care of Red Dye and Kellogg's and shit.
If you follow the current data, 3,000 to 5,000 Americans, or I should say not Americans, people who took the jab are dying every single week.
What? What? People are dropping like flies? But I got my UFC on Saturday, so who gives a fuck? They unhealthy people anyways. No athletes died. No young people died. No children died. Old fat people. Those dead. Rip in pieces for those.
So the killing fields, the tapering the Ponzi scheme is actively ongoing. Why? Because remember, when you kill people the way our tax laws are set up, very similar to yours, that there's a wealth and estate tax. You lose a lot of that money, goes back to the state. That's actually helps the state, doesn't help your family. So that's the reason.
You wanna do business with us? Wanna do some business with us? We don't ask, we take. So shut the fuck up and take this ass
Reason I give the advice that I give to Americans and Canadians literally for almost 15 years, that you need to have this plan fully in place. If you don't have the plan fully in place, then you're going to have to do partials. I mean, I'll share this story with you because it's a Canadian story, but I want you to fully get the impact of what I'm saying. So I have a member, been a member a long time, over 10 years. Family owns a significant real estate portfolio in British Columbia. The mom and dad have a very, how shall I say, aggressive mindset because they happen to be Chinese origin.
Goddamn commies.
They had one son. The son was my member. And I told that person that he needed to do everything in his power 10 years ago to get even 5 or 10% of their wealth. Their wealth was at the time fairly substantial, $600, $700, $800 million of real estate. And that's real estate that have improved over time when they came over in the 40s and 50s. Most of downtown Vancouver, let's put it that way. All right? And he was successful after his father died. His father was kind of like Mao Zedong, wouldn't give him an inch. And his mother decided to give him some money. I think he got a total of $10 million. He fled Canada and invested wisely. He's now turned that money into probably $250 million in 7 years. His mother,
Probably Bitcoin, if I would have to guess.
is now elderly, infirmed, and the province that she lives in will not let her take more than $5,000 out a day. And this is a woman who probably has more money than most Canadians that will ever listen to this story. So remember, if you've got $700, $800 million in real estate and you can only take out $500,000 a day, let me ask you something, Sean. Does that define slavery?
Bro, what the fuck? I thought we lived in the free world. Well, the rule of the jungle is no more. We're civilized. We got these bankers where we can take our money. It's safe there. It's real safe. It's so safe that you cannot even get it out yourself. You freaking this Canadian Chinese lady, he put a lot of money there. Or it's probably in real estate, but she got a lot of money to get out of there. But it is so safe, even she cannot get it. Man, these bankers are freaking safe. And awesome and shit. Am I right, guys? Bankers rule. What the fuck?
Or not. Because it sure sounds like it to me. And the key thing is, what was the metric? The metric was she didn't make the decision in the proper time frame. So that's the issue. So what does Canada...
Some tough decisions coming up. For me. Probably for you. Because most of my watchers, they live in UK, Canada, United States, EU. These are all places that soon
basically say to this lady, we know that you're going to die soon and your money is going to come back to us in wealth taxes and real estate transfers. So we're going to get 70-80% of that money back. So do you understand why now they are incentivized to keep you guys on the plantation? And your compliance has made it worse.
Boom! Like I said in one of my videos, you don't have to be smart to be rich. You don't have to have that base knowledge to be rich in this world. Good thing this lady's son was kind of smart, it seems like. There's a lot of people like her with a lot less money that they really need. A lot less that man-made money. But that man-made money that can buy you the freedom. Freedom.
You can't comply with anything. Anything they ask you to do. Even if it sounds reasonable. The answer should always be no. And unfortunately, the one thing I do know about my Canadian...
If you have been watching Base Science, you know who runs these little schemes on us little normies and NPCs and sheeps and wolves in sheep's clothing and us little peasants. You know who runs these games. You know your enemy. So goddamn straight you say no. And goddamn straight you make the right decision to leave these places. We must build some cool ass places with bunch of base science, bunch of base knowledge. Somewhere else we take our little based bodies and based minds and based hearts and based spirits. We take that shit to somewhere else where it can freaking blossom like a flower.
Canadian friends, you're far too compliant. The only place you'll ever find a Canadian fight is on an ice hockey rink. That's it. And that needs to change. Because your way of life, your family values, your sovereignty, your loyal title to your property, it's under attack.
Yeah, Karl Marx is freaking happy right now in his grave. He's like, damn these Canadians, damn these Great Britons, damn the EU is doing my work. That they taking notes that I wrote a couple centuries ago. You must be happy boy in the hell.
I won't disagree with that. I mean, I think we've once again, I guess that
Let's end with this
COVID, was a wake-up call to all Canadians, right? We had the freedom.
Was it really wake-up call to all Canadians? It doesn't seem like it. Who's running your country right now? Like, those of us who still got a little bit of that DHA, little bit of that brain power, a little bit of that base knowledge left in our brains. We're not completely smooth up in here. Like we think about it, like it should have wake up everybody up. But it didn't happen because the MK Ultra's so good. Before and after, now they're really ramping up that shit. They got their silent weapons working wonderfully on our peasant asses. And our peasant asses should be outside on their grass, sack and titties in the sun. But what are people doing? I got UFC on Saturday. I got my Excel sheets to write for my workplace.
Freedom Convoy go and show what could be done and can be done in a time where, we just had.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't clearly enough. Listen up, buddy.
Centralization at a mass effect. Everybody had to march in lockstep. It was like full-blown communism. You could just see it, feel it everywhere you walked.
Sean, what I said is that COVID was a compliance test for the coming economic reset.
Sure.
Look, that's my diagnosis. And the reason I interrupted you there, I want your audience to understand where I'm coming from. I always knew COVID was a bullshit story. I always knew that it was.
Everybody who wasn't smooth up here knew. And it was very little people. I was the only one in my own personal life, out of all of my family and friends and people I know in real life, I was the only one that knew straight from the get-go. And I said that to everybody.
A planned psyops, but the planned psyops in my country is because of the debt issue. There's no way out of a debt spiral unless you come in with a new currency and things like that. So what did they want to see? They wanted to see how many people would really comply with what had to happen. And they also, at the same time, DARPA came up with the miraculous idea, let's kill the people that comply.
Those guys have a lot of miraculous ideas in that place. Those guys have been scheming like a motherfuckers up in that place for quite some time now. They've been manifesting like John D. did back in his prime time.
Also, at the same time, DARPA came up with the miraculous idea, let's kill the people that comply. Why? Because if we kill enough people, then we don't have to pay them out. We can taper the Ponzi scheme that way. Because there's no way to taper a Ponzi scheme unless you get rid of the people that are asking for their money back. Got it? So that is the two-pronged plan. Well, I would say 50% of America, even some of the ones that took the jab, now realize that that was the plan. Now they're fighting back. The problem is a large portion of them put their eggs with Trump. They're not totally losing because Trump did bring in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the ultimate solution to the shit show that you guys are dealing with. You're not getting that. See, that you're not getting Bitcoin in Canada. You're going to get the CBDC solution. You're going to get the digital IDs. You're going to get true what it's like to have really nice malls, Starbucks, and Netflix, but you're a slave on the plantation. They are not going to let you leave.
You'll own nothing and be happy. Happy camper up in the Canada, UK, EU. You're gonna be really happy camper. And you own nothing but a tent.
You're going to work for the state, and that's just the way it's going to be.
You don't.
And that's just how it's gonna be, huh? So remember, this is coming Australia, Canada, UK, EU countries, United States a little bit also. So maybe consider moving your ass somewhere better. And anyways, this environment sucks anyways. Even if you somewhat can see some good in the politics, if you do, you're already retarded. But anyways, if you see, like, if you have some family, I got a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend here. But the environment sucks anyways for your health, and your mental health, and your well-being, and your vitality. The environment is sucking. the freaking vitality out of you every single day. The longer you've been in these 5G cities, the worse you're gonna feel. And the politics suck. The money, the man-made money sucks. So, better get there. Better get that peasant there somewhere else. And bring your girlfriend, boyfriend, family and friends with you. Let's start building a more based world somewhere else.